Hello, 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 and welcome to Greymane Gaming. My name is Greymane, and we are here at the end of the Battlefront 2 beta. Yes, it's all over. It's a sad day, but it's done. And I must say that it was great fun. It was a blast to play what they offered us for the preview of Battlefront 2. But as goes with any EA game, there's always something controversial that always transpires with these games. And sure enough, just like Battlefront in 2015, where EA released a half-finished game that we paid top dollar for, and it was just a shadow of what this game is. There was nothing to it. This game, however, has added single player, has added more maps, has added, to me, more fun. But not without controversy, because now we have the loot crate system to deal with. And the thing is this a precedent that's going to be set from now on with other games? I know of 3 games that are coming out in the next month that deal with the loot crate system and hide things behind it that affects game progression. Number 1 being Battlefront 2. The one that's out now is Shadow of War, and also World War II is coming out as well. Now, some say that if you are going to add a loot crate, then it should only be like it has been in the past and stick to cosmetics like Overwatch, where you can buy as many loot crates as you want, but it doesn't affect your gameplay. It doesn't make you better. It makes all it is a skin that changes your appearance, whether it's for the good or for the worse. But when it comes to Battlefront 2, your star cards that you get in these loot crates, which can be bronze, silver, or gold, directly affect your gameplay and how well you play the game. So if you're not one of those kids that can go out and get your mom's credit card and drop $100 on it and get as many of these loot crates as you want, then you're out of luck. You're gonna have to save up your allowance, and you may only get one loot crate a week. Who knows? So is that unfair gameplay? I mean, is that the way it should be? Well, we kind of look at that. I know when I was a kid and when I was a teenager and up, or maybe a little bit later than that, because I don't think I used to play Magic the Gathering, where I'd go to the store and I'd get 8-9 packs of Magic cards, hoping to get a legendary, hoping to get, a card that would complete my deck, that would help me win. And that was the idea. You spend the money, you get the cards, and hopefully your deck is going to be more powerful than the person that's going to be sitting across the table from you. Didn't always work out that way, because there's always a bigger fish, as they say in Star Wars, who's out there dropping more coin than you are. But that's pay to win, and we know that. But is that okay for a video game to do? I don't know. I think that when it comes to these kind of games, it's kind of setting a bad precedent to be locking content, to be locking progression behind loot crates. So I know in Shadow of War, I've played that a bit, and I've heard that there's an alternate ending that's locked behind the loot crates in that game. But you can grind it out at some point. It will take you umpteen hours, but you can still grind it out. And I think as long as that option remains, then that would be okay. But I just don't want any game that's going to be solely based on how much money you spend, whether or not you can win, because it kind of takes the challenge out of it. The only challenge is if you can get your mom to hand over the MasterCard. That's the challenge in the whole thing. I want a game that's going to challenge me, so I can earn things. I don't really want one where I can just say, okay, I'll buy 100 loot crates and then I'll win, right? Okay, well that's not really a game. That's just kind of like a buying your way to a win, and I don't know if that's fair or not. You can, I guess you kind of have to make up your own mind, but I just think that it's wrong either way. If you support loot crates or not, to have these games setting this kind of a precedent for future games, and for every game that's eventually going to say, let's go the loot crate way. That way people can go out and drop $100 on the game, Plus, drop another $100 a month on loot crates. What a way, to me, it's a win-win for all the game industries, but not so much for the people who play the game. So that's what I have to say about that. But I'm still going to be back in Battlefront 2, still playing Shadow of War, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't know if Battlefront 2 is going to change all that much. Everyone says, well, maybe they'll change it. Maybe that's not the way it is in the game. Well, hate to tell you, but we're about less than 5 weeks away from retail launch of Battlefront 2, and a lot of games, most games, every game that has a beta a month before retail launch won't change a whole lot from the beta because there's just not a lot that they can do in that amount of time. So we'll see what happens in Battlefront 2. We'll see how many of these loot crates, if it's actually the deciding factor in Battlefront 2, and if it actually increases the skill of the players. And if so, I guess you need to break out your credit cards.